Tough questions, honest answers, real talk with the City of Oshawa.
Hi, everybody. It's Dan Carter, the mayor for the great city of Oshawa and the host of Real Talk. I'm excited to welcome you to this unique podcast, and I hope it will inspire authentic conversations and as we take on topics that are important to you. My hope is that we address issues that are impacting our province, our country, from affordability to the challenging housing market, homelessness, healthcare, opiate crisis, and the political environment. Oh, yeah, and maybe sometimes the tariffs. But also, we want to talk about some amazing events that are happening in and around our country, and at the same time celebrate the success that's happening. You know, today is a very special day in the great city of Oshawa, and it's been a great week. Matter of fact, earlier this week, the City of Oshawa made an announcement that they had partnered up with the Oshawa Generals, OVG, which is the operator of the TCC, which is the Trivia Community Center, to be able to extend our partnership over a 30-year period and invest almost $50 million into the TCC to modernize the facility. Rocco Tullio has owned the team for about 17 years. We have to set this up, Rocco. Last night, maybe you could let everybody know what happened last night.
It was another great night. We won the Eastern Conference Finals. Our good luck charm, Mayor Dan Carter, was in the building, and every time he was in the hallway, we scored. So he had to watch the game from the hallway.
It was honestly, it was quite humorous. I was talking to a visitor that came in from Montreal to watch the game, and I was standing there, and we heard it. They scored, and then they scored again within like 45 seconds. Then they scored again, and I went to go back, and everybody said, "No, you got to stay out in the hallway." So I had to watch the whole third period of the hallway because of that. So, hey, congratulations. It's got to make you feel so proud. I mean, the organization's gone through some changes this year, but the team really has found its moment. And I'm going to presume you're ecstatic.
100%. I mean, to win back-to-back conference championships says a lot about our team behind me, right? I mean, at the end of the day, Roger Hunt and our scouting staff, they do a lot of the heavy lifting. I mean, a lot of the unsung heroes of our game day preparations and our ticket sales, and then obviously the coaching staff and our players. So, you know, they deserve all the credit in the world. And to win it back-to-back is, I think we're the first time in the history of the league to win it back-to-back on our side.
Well, it's pretty amazing. And, you know, let's talk about your journey into junior hockey and, of course, the purchase of the Oshawa Generals. I think that happened about 17 years ago, wasn't it, Rocco?
2007. About half of it from John Davies at the time, and then never looked back.
So why the interest in junior hockey at that time?
I always had a passion for hockey. I loved it. I tried to purchase the Windsor Spitfires back then and, you know, was unsuccessful. And I was determined that I wanted to be part of hockey. I just loved it. I mean, I just loved it ever since I was a kid. I played it, but I never played at a high level. And I just thought, you know what, if I can't play it at a high level, I want to be part of something and that I can give back with and put my stamp on things. And so we looked at different teams. We looked at Peterborough. We looked at the time it was Plymouth, and then a good friend of mine, Pete DeBoer, says, you know what, I think Oshawa may be available. And so met with John Davies, and one thing led to another. Within 30 days, I think timing was just perfect at that time. And next thing you know, we were dropping the puck at center ice.
Just out of curiosity, was the learning curve for you in regards to running the organization or really what you wanted to try and accomplish, which was to have a championship team, not just one year, but on a regular basis? Was it a learning curve for you, or did you understood the business? I understand that because you're a very, very successful businessman, but this is something totally different. Did it take a period of transition for you, Rocco?
Yeah, I came in, I was like, I just want to sit back and relax and enjoy this. And, you know, 8 months later, we're ripping the organization down and bringing people that share the same values and work ethic, that I had. And so it was a quick learning curve because, you know, the fans in Oshawa are passionate, and I can remember buying it. People thought, oh, he's an outside, he's an owner from out of town and he doesn't understand. And, you know, here we go again and blah, blah. And I'm like, you know, I wanted to prove to our fans that this was more than just, you know, a business for me. This was my passion. It was something that I wanted to restore the credibility of the Oshawa Generals back. I wanted to earn their respect back and their loyalty. And, you know, we pushed the right buttons. We started investing in our alumni again and doing a lot of grassroots things. And obviously hiring the right people makes your job that much easier. And when you do that, usually success follows. And when you have success, then that's when people start, you start earning the respect of everybody.
It's been an interesting journey for you because, there was a partnership at one time, I think, with Mr. Davis at the time, was it not?
Correct.
And then the opportunity presented itself, I guess, when he was ready to divest himself of the organization. I guess that was a big jump for you and a big leap for you also at the same time.
Yeah, I was, like I said, I wasn't looking to be that active in it early on. I wanted to walk before I ran, and unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. I got, thrust into it. But one thing I've always done well is I try to find the best people in those specific areas to help me out rather than thinking I know everything. And I went immediately to Pete DeBoer, who had a track record of winning in the Ontario Hockey League, and he brought on Adam Graves. So they became partners. They bought out John Davies' half. And then over time, Pete obviously had a lot of tremendous success in the NHL and was like, Rock, I can't spend as much time here and it's not fair to you. So, I purchased him out, and Adam Graves is still a small partner with me to this day, and my lawyer John McMahon, longtime friend, and then Raj and Pick recently. So you surround yourself with good people, Mayor. You understand at the end of the day, usually success follows. So it's been a great 17 years, and once you have a taste of the success and winning, you want to have it. You want to do it all the time. So we're fortunate that we're able to replicate this, and hopefully it continues for many more years.
I'm a great believer that great leaders set a vision out and say, this is what we're going to accomplish. I'm not really sure how we're going to get there right away, but this is what we want to accomplish. You were very clear in regards to the direction you wanted this organization to go. And one of the things you said is, we're going to win a Memorial Cup. We are going to do everything we possibly can. And you delivered on that. And, that was setting the tone for the organization. So that tone seems to be carrying all the way through some years later, that they understand that just playing the game is not acceptable. Championship and the culture that we have is of winning. Is that a fair statement to be able to say?
100%. We always tell our coaches, making the playoffs is great, but that's not, they don't get bonuses for making the playoffs. We're probably one of the only teams that doesn't pay coaches for making playoffs. You make it for winning rounds. So, and that's always been our philosophy. The other thing is we treat all our players, we treat their families, we treat our coaching staff, we treat everybody in the organization like an extension of our family. I think, when I walk into the arena, right from the guys that run the arena, the rink, and clean the ice, and the Zambonis and all that, we have relationships with them, from Bruno, the parking attendant. You just treat people with respect at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it comes back threefold on you. And I think I've always been close with our players. Like you saw Michael Del Cole dropping the puck the other night. We're getting, we get players all the time that still text me and DM me and all that kind of stuff and still follow us. And that's, to me, is the ultimate respect. Anthony Sorelli invites us to his Stanley Cup party. It comes around threefold, but because we've taken care of them so good when they were younger and treated them like human beings rather than just an asset. And I always say actions speak louder than words. And, over those years, we've treated them with respect and given them all the resources and tools to succeed and built these relationships intimately with them that it shows down the road. And they go through the wall for us. I think you look at the players when they play, they're disappointed when they lose because they feel like they've disappointed us. And on the same token, when they win, they're so excited because we're able to share it together.
So talk about the evolution of junior hockey, because I don't think everybody clearly understands the business aspect of junior hockey anymore. I think at one time it was a hobbyist would have the team, but now it really is run as a professional organization, a business organization, that you have a lot of obligations. And I know that you've spearheaded, and I'll probably get it wrong, but I think it's the player development or player experience throughout the OHL. Talk a little bit about that and how it's changed dramatically from this kind of hobbyist of owning a team to what it is today.
I started here 17 years ago. I was, pretty quiet as an owner. I wanted to listen and, be seen and not heard, and you learn to navigate. And now 17 years later, my partners, with other teams, they reach out to me all the time on different things and to get my advice. And that's gratifying to know that they respect me that much that they're calling. But I'm also on the competition committee. I'm on this, one of the things I've been championing for years is standardizing things across the league for players. We do things at a different level. This is a passion for me, but it's also a business. But I make sure we take care of the people that are the most important assets for us that drive this big engine. This isn't a big money maker, and that's fine. I didn't buy it to make money on it. I did it because I wanted to give back in so many different ways. But one of the things I wanted to do was we need to standardize things because, we put our team in certain standards of hotels, the quality of food. Like, last night after the game, every post meal, it's been ribeye steaks, it's been rice, it's been baked potato, it's veggies. This is what we give our players. Like, we don't just go and give them pizza. We put a lot of thought into what we do with our players. So I want to standardize that across the league because there's road trips, and certain teams think Super 8 motels are great. Well, that's not acceptable because these players are athletes. And then when they don't perform on the ice, you wonder why they didn't perform. Well, you didn't feed them properly, number one. You didn't give them a great night's sleep, and then you expect them to perform at a high level. So we want to standardize a lot of their things, how they travel, where they eat, what type of food they eat, hotels, bus, facilities. So we're driving that, and it's evolving, and it's standardizing things so that teams takes the question, the gray areas out of things.
It's amazing. I've watched the evolution of your organization as you as an owner, and we've seen from a small gym to a larger gym. We've seen an area that was a meeting area is now a video review room where all the players are. We have seen an area for players so that they can have proper nutrition and a kitchen that has been put in. Yeah, the environment, I always say when you create the right environment, people not only feel respected, but they also feel challenged that they live up to that environment. And I think that's what you're saying is if we want the best out of people, then we have to create an environment so they can be their best. And if we're not willing to do that, then we should just accept what the outcome is going to be, which is not excellence. And I think that that's what you're trying to do. So I want to turn the page a little bit because you and I have been working together for about 6 years in regards to the future of the organization, both on the city side for myself, you as the owner of the Oshawa Generals, and really looking towards the future. And you and I announced our partnership was going to continue for the next 30 years. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to the team? And what do you think it means to our community that we were able to find that pathway forward? And by the way, you and I had some spirited conversations and difficult days, but we found a way to move forward. And I don't want that to be missed.
Yeah, well, I think spirited I think that happens in any negotiation. When two people are passionate about, you are passionate about the City of Oshawa, I'm passionate about the City of Oshawa and our Generals, we want to get our ways, right? And you fight for what you believe is what's right for the City of Oshawa. We fight for what we believe is the right thing for the Oshawa Generals. So that is normal. At the end of the day, though, Dan, you champion this and you put your money where your mouth is, and you delivered at the end of the day to help us navigate and get to where we need to be and close and bridge those gaps. For me, it's an unprecedented deal because it allows me now and our organization to focus on the things that are important to us, which is continue building our brand, bringing attention to this great city of Oshawa. This is my second home. This is basically a mini me of Windsor where I was born and raised. So I care about the city just as much as I do, Windsor. There's nothing greater than being on the ice with our fans and cheering and getting to know them personally. And so for me, this was huge. The last thing I wanted to do was take the Oshawa Generals and go down to the city of Pickering. We did not want to do that. And I made it clear to the city of Pickering. We made it clear to the city of Oshawa. But we also have to make sure we have all the resources and tools to be able to survive the longevity of what junior hockey is evolving into. And space was so critical for us here. Kudos to you and council that at the end of the day, you recognize that. And we were able to, like I said, find a happy medium for everybody. But for me, it's unprecedented. And know now that we're here for the next 30 years just allows us to focus on the things that are with the team.
I want to give the insight a little bit about some of the exciting conversations we had because, yes, this is about an extension of a 30-year partnership with yourself and the Oshawa Generals. And you made it quite clear, by the way. This isn't short-term stuff. This is generational family asset that wants to continue to be part of our community, but also part of the Oshawa Generals and the OHL for many, many years to come. And you made it quite clear that this is important to your family. This isn't a toy. This isn't a hobby. This is a commitment. And I think that was interesting. But what I wanted to get to was we also were able to have great conversations about the fan experience. And you've been a big part of that, is saying, yeah, what we do on the ice is really important. How we treat our players is really important. How our staff have the right environment to be able to work in so they can be successful. But you also made it quite clear to the City of Oshawa, you wanted the fan experience to be also extraordinary. And that's where the modernization idea came. It wasn't just about adding seats and offices. It was also about the fan experience. And you were really passionate about that. And that was a big part of this week's announcement also at the same time, wasn't it?
100%. I mean, listen, if we don't have the fan support, we're not adding another 900 seats. We're not the city's not spending $50 million if we're getting 2,500 people a game, right? It's just not happening. So a lot of that was driven by our fans and our loyal fans that continue to support us. Like I said, Tuesday night, we had 5,000 fans at the game. That's incredible, right? And everything we do, it's for our players and for our fans. Okay, that's the reality of it. And yeah, this is a generational asset for us. This isn't a toy. Like people thought, oh, when Ty was here, he's going to sell and move on. Ty was 5 years old when I bought this organization. Okay. And we are fortunate that he was able to come through our organization and be an impactful player and do all those good things. But he's moved on now to pro, and I'm still the same guy that I was 17 years ago when I purchased it. I come here. I love coming to the rink. I love being around the players. I love watching our fans celebrate with us. And so everything we do is taking them into account. But really, they're the driving factor of this huge upgrade and renovations that the city's doing. And we want them to embrace these great times. So we do this for them also, they're a huge part of it.
But they will experience a different experience once this modernization happens. I mean, that's what the exciting thing is I think you wanted them to be excited not only before they entered the door, but all the way through the process. You wanted to make sure that they were connected and that they were getting the type of service necessary. And that's where the idea about the grab and grow stations, making sure lounges, gathering places, making sure the parents of the players had a place to be able to kind of celebrate their youths that are part of the Oshawa Generals organization. You really wanted to make sure that experience was extended so that visitors not only from our own community would experience it, but visitors from across North America would be able to do it. And now with the NCAA and how competitive that is and the OHL, it really means that we've got to do something different in regards to the fan experience and the organizations themselves. So I think this is an exciting time for both of us. I'm excited about seeing what the new modernization looks like, and you're probably excited because we're going to do some things with the ice too. And I think, can you take a moment just to talk about that? I look at our arena as a great arena, but the ice surface plays an important part, and there's new systems out there that we're going to invest in that'll make the ice even better. Isn't that correct?
Yeah. So there's a filtration system that basically takes the impurities of the water out, and it allows the ice, harder ice, better ice, cleaner ice, which means that it's going to be faster. It's an investment it's a small investment, but it's a major factor in playing the game and consistent ice and keeping it harder. And like I said, making the game faster. And so, look, we've always been leaders and we're an iconic brand. And like you said, all these things that we're incorporating into this design are well thought out changes for our fans. And I'm excited when this is going to be done in the next few years. Just see the faces of our fans when they come through the concourse and they see all these different stations and what we've done for them. It's exciting. And the league put it perfectly. London is of the West and Oshawa's of the East. Look, I think if you go out and you talk to anybody, people will, we're one of the top 3 storied franchises in all of Canadian junior hockey and one of the most coveted ones. People want to come here. Players want to come here. And we changed the culture, which was important for us. And that's why players come here. At the end of the day, they know that they're treated like pros, and our fans are treated to a first-class environment. And we're always challenging ourselves every day to be better in games with music and with in-game experiences and all that kind of stuff. And we try to make sure that we're accessible. Our players are accessible. Our team is accessible for them also. And so it was a historic day making that announcement. And again, I keep saying it over and over again, but you champion that with your staff and council and made it happen. And I'm just so happy that at the end of the day, it's behind us and we focus on hockey and winning.
I'm excited to see what happens over the next 30 years. One of the things that was a big part of the topic was, this facility gives families an opportunity of having an entertainment experience that is affordable. professional hockey for the average family is just unrealistic or unattainable. But your product is really driven on family-based opportunities and enjoyment. And I mean, that's been a big part of your success filling the stands, wouldn't you say?
If you have success, people believe in you. We're not one-off. I think, people realize that, every 3 to 4 years, we're trying hard to win. Like I said, our next priority is to put a blueprint in place that allows us to host a Memorial Cup here so our fans can embrace. I want to showcase our fans. We do it every game, but I want to put it on the world stage. I want to show everybody in the world stage that, hey, this is what we get on a nightly basis. And now you get to see it on a major scale. I want them to showcase the great city of Oshawa and all the good things that come with it and the hardworking people of this community. And that brings me great satisfaction. And I don't want to do one, like we want to do multiple, because now we're going to be set up to be able to do multiple events and multiple Memorial Cups. So like we're not looking to host one, we're looking to host multiple of them.
Just out of curiosity, your colleagues kind of a little jealous of you right now for getting a deal done and modernization? Are they saying, hey, Rock, can you come to our community and negotiate a deal for us?
Kingston called me already and has asked, because they're up for renewal and they want to do the exact same thing, so they've called to pick my brain. Sudbury is building a brand new arena, and Daria already reached out to me also. But it just, it's great because my partners are reaching out to me because we all want to work together. And I always say we're strong as our weakest link. So if I can help the Sudburys or the Kingston to help them along and give them a little bit of advice, and it makes them that much better, we all win at the end of the day.
You know what? This week's been an extraordinary week for the Oshawa Generals, the great city of Oshawa, and the future of not only junior hockey here in the Oshawa Generals, but also an entertainment facility that I think will really have a huge impact on our community. You know what, Rock? It has been a pleasure working with you, and you know what? I'm really excited about what the future holds. The last little bit, I just want to ask you. You're now going to face London. That's almost like Toronto, Boston, all over again. And psychologically, do you got to get the guys in a different mindset in regards to because of their previous experience with London, or just take the talent, put it on the ice, and give it 1,000%?
I mean, I think we're a year older, and that experience from last year bodes well. We weren't healthy last year. We had quite a few players out. So I think the boys are welcoming this new challenge, and they're a humble group. They let their actions on the ice speak for themselves. I think it's going to be an exciting series. London, as you progress, every series gets tougher and the grind gets harder. But I think our boys are up for the challenge, no question. And their goal is ultimately to finish what we didn't last year.
Well, listen, I really appreciate it. This is an exciting time for the team, for our city, and I can't thank you enough as the owner of the Oshawa Generals to give us the opportunity to be a partner with you and walk with you over the next 30 years. Rock, all the best to you, your family. Thank you so much for everything, and I know you'll be traveling, and I'll see you soon, so thank you very much. Rocco Tullio, of course, the owner of the Oshawa Generals, and if you've enjoyed this conversation and you want to hear more, subscribe to Real Talk Oshawa. You can get that on Spotify or Apple. Episodes are released on a monthly basis, so keep the conversation going. I want to thank you for joining us on this episode. Until next time, I'm Dan Carter. Stay well and keep the conversation going.